Hey guys, I wanted to show you behind the scenes of my Mario cake. Honestly, I learned so much and had a lot of fun, and it was kind of a disaster. So here we go. So first and foremost, I have no experience with like structuring a cake with pipes and stuff. And so my sweet husband was the one that did that. And he said that there was not smaller pipes available at our local store. And so we had to work with what we had. I obviously wish that we had smaller ones. And so that's the first thing that I would absolutely change is to get smaller pipes to work with. The second thing, I did wash all of the pipes at the very beginning, but then I wanted to cover them up with the press and seal saran wrap because obviously I didn't want any of that pipe touching my cake. And so as you can see, it was a little complicated with the thicker pipes, but it's okay. And so if I could go back, I actually do wish I would have worked on this tunnel with the fondant work as I went and before I did all these steps, because honestly, it would have made it a lot easier, and you'll see at the end. So I'm just going to beat you guys to the punchline. Yes, I know what this looks like. Ha ha ha. I had to use Rice Krispie. Don't make it weird, you guys. I had to use this for the structure of his leg. And so because cake was not an option in order to do that. So yes, as you can see, I was laughing. So let's move forward. So I covered all of my Rice Krispie with some buttercream because I was going to be covering it with fondant later, and I wanted to make sure I had a smooth surface. And so I used more pipe work, and I am one that is huge on trying to make everything cake. And so I was kind of in a grumpy attitude about how much Rice Krispie I was using right here. But truthfully, this is something that I'm learning that you just cannot skip. And so I wanted to make sure that the pipes were all nice and secure and they were all twisted on. And then I used some cake boards to use for support. And I was trying my best to use as much cake as I could. So I was determined to make Mario's tummy cake. So that is what I'm doing right here. And the other thing about me, if you guys watch my videos, you know that I really do try hard to do precise layers versus carving later on. And so I always try to eyeball and just imagine what size I need. The fatigue was kicking in, you guys. It's real when you're trying to balance your mom life and work life and just trying to be involved in everything. So the next morning, I really wish that I actually did this part the night before, but I was just so tired. And so if I could go back, I would absolutely sculpt the head the night before so that it was nice and cold for me the next morning, but I had to work with it. And so here is the next thing. I wish that I had a center dowel that was attached to my board for the head part. And at first I was thinking that I would be able to get away with it, but you'll see as I go that the head starts drooping, and it's okay. It was a learning experience. Don't skip the center dowel. And so I went in with modeling chocolate for the face because I have never sculpted a face before, fun fact, and I have never used modeling chocolate before, another fun fact. And so the one thing that I learned about modeling chocolate is that it actually is super forgiving, and you can kind of just blend out all the blemishes and the cracks and everything with just your fingers and the warmth from it. And so I will absolutely be using more modeling chocolate in the future. And so this is where things started going sour. This was my Rice Krispie star. I did use Rice Krispie because I didn't want to worry about it drooping or getting warm or anything. And so I was able to just cover it with some fondant. And I did by the way, I did cover it with buttercream first so that my fondant would be nice and smooth. And so going back to my Mario, honestly, you guys, I would love to learn more about modeling chocolate, but I used my fondant for the overalls. And so the one thing about having creases in fondant, it is a little trickier to get out all of those imperfections. And so I went in with my steamer, and that's why it's all nice and shiny. But when it does that, it kind of melts your fondant a little bit so that way you can kind of blend it out. This is when things were starting to really slant, and I was getting devastated because when you spend all that time working on something and it just starts going against the heat and everything, it's just frustrating, but it's okay. And so I put fondant on my pipe as well, the green pipe, and then I used more modeling chocolate for the shoe, and it blended like freaking butter. And so I covered my baseboard with some more fondant, and then I was able to place my star with no problem at all. And you guys, it turned out great. I'm happy with the result. Yes, he's cute, but I really wish that I could have given myself more time and maybe spent a little more time on the carving and then the structure for the head. Darn it.